Hello. So my title for my research is Reconceptualizing PA Core Standards Professional Development for Elementary School Teachers using a Human Capital Perspective. My name is Sarita Brown Mitchell. I'm currently a teacher in Westchester Area School District. I'm a third-year doctoral student. My master's was specializing in elementary reading and math. Currently, I'm on several district level and building level committees, including Elementary Language Arts Committee, Elementary Mathematics Committee, Common Core Collaborative Committee, Equity Committee, and I taught both in an urban and suburban setting. I started my teaching in Philadelphia. So the purpose of my study is to focus on teachers. So we're currently in an era of increased accountability that focuses on student performance on high-stakes testing such as PSSAs and the new standards of teaching and learning. And because of this, teacher morale has decreased and the quality of education has dynamically changed to focus on teacher fidelity to preparing students for the aforementioned tests such as PSSA. The adoption of Common Core state standards requires initial understanding of what they were and ongoing professional development to prepare administrators, educators, and all other school personnel for the implementation of these new standards. The professional development, because they've been so focused on Common Core state standards and PSSAs and testing, provide limited opportunities for teachers to truly capitalize on their talents and knowledge and passion. And as a result of this, many teachers no longer feel they are grown professionally and actually dread professional development days. So this dissertation study proposes to understand how can professional development on PA Core standards for elementary teachers in a suburban school district be reconceptualized so that it capitalizes on teachers' existing human capital or their talents. So I believe that the findings from this study will contribute to professional development design used within school districts, since professional development is a mandatory contribution to educational professionalism. So for my main arguments, existing professional development for elementary teachers, K-5 teachers, does not capitalize on their human capital or talent. So in understanding human capital, the purpose of professional development, and how to incorporate teachers' talents and abilities in the design of professional development will then enable teachers to become more invested in their professional development and growth. So education is currently, as I previously stated, in a state of high-stakes testing and high teacher accountability for student performance on the aforementioned high-stakes testing. So much of the research in the area of human capital in the past has been in the economics and business human resource fields. So there is actually limited research that has been found on how human capital can be applied in the elementary school level. So as a current teacher, I teach 5th grade, I have personal experience with teachers and understanding how many of them dislike the existing format of professional development. I've gained that experience both in the urban and suburban atmosphere. So changes in the educational field is communicated through mandatory professional development. Therefore, that is a time, professional development is a time for us to maximize on teacher talents and interests, because this is mandatory. This is a time where they have to be there and engage in pedagogical research and study. So we must maximize on their talents and interests so that they get something out of the professional development. So human capital. Human capital, the development of teachers' human and social capital benefits the performance of both students and the faculty. And human capital is a teacher's cumulative abilities, knowledge, and skills developed through formal education and on-the-job experience. Professional development improves upon teachers' instructional abilities. And when I talk about teachers' perception and how they perceive whether or not professional development capitalizes on their talent, perception is when discussing teacher evaluation, perceptions are influenced by employee satisfaction with the performance appraisal, attitudes of evaluation, acceptance, motivation, trust, organizational commitment, and evaluation decisions. PA Core standards. PA Core standards are based on Common Core state standards. And the state board adopted Common Core state standards in July 2010. A group of Pennsylvania educators created a draft set of PA Core standards. These new standards mirror the content and rigor of Common Core, but reflect the organization and design of the PA academic standards. So basically, we blended our existing or pre-existing PA academic standards and use that format and organization and design to incorporate Common Core standards, and that is what we call PA Core standards. Common Core state standards were developed in 2010 as an effort to establish consensus on expectations for student knowledge and skills that should be developed in grades K to 12 for mathematics and for English, language arts, and literacy. They represent an opportunity to create a national curriculum in mathematics and in English, language arts, and reading. So the methodology that I propose to use for this study is a big quantitative and a small qualitative. So I would begin with a big quantitative method and followed by a small qualitative method using an explanatory sequential design. And what that means is that I will use a big quantitative first, such as a survey questionnaire, and follow it by a small qualitative, such as an interview, to explain the data that I received from the big quantitative design. The proposed participants are K to 5 elementary teachers of all disciplines, including instructional coaches, reading specialists, art teachers, physical education teachers, music teachers, and school librarians. The role of the researcher myself, I'm a teacher in a district where the data will be collected. I will also be conducting the interviews, and the surveys that I plan to use for the big quantitative will remain anonymous and will be voluntary. For the quantitative data, I will administer an online questionnaire to collect elementary teachers' perception of whether professional development on PA Core capitalized on their human capital. That will be followed by a small qualitative data collection, which will be I will conduct 2 to 3 semi-structured interviews with teachers to understand how can professional development capitalize on their human capital.